Good evening and welcome. Welcome to the 10th anniversary celebration for Teach For America-Delaware. My name is Tamara Smith, and I have the honor of serving as the executive director of this region. I am so happy to have you join us tonight, whether that's from your living room couch, your kitchen as you listen in and prepare dinner, or if you're tuning in on your ride home, wherever you are, thank you for joining us. We are here tonight to celebrate a decade of impact, a decade of transforming the lives of Delaware students, a decade of growth, a decade of joys and lessons learned, but most importantly, we are here to look to the future. And I've always believed that you cannot chart your course forward without acknowledging and learning from where you come from. You'll hear more shortly as to where it all started with the founding of our region. My journey with Teach For America-Delaware started 3 years ago when I moved from Connecticut, where I was serving as an interim school leader, to step into the role of executive director of this great region. But overall, my journey with Teach For America, my journey in the fight for educational equity for all students, began much farther back. Way back to my junior year at Spelman College, where I was tutoring in an after-school program and became increasingly frustrated that my middle school students were reading on average 3 to 4 grade levels behind. Because of their zip code, their school experience was not as strong as it should be. It did not mirror in any way my own educational experience attending public schools in my home of South Jersey. Simply because of their address, their educational experience was not the same. Then and now, I fundamentally believe that is wrong. It is unjust. All students deserve a high-quality educational experience, and that led me to want to become part of the solution. Instead of becoming a lawyer, I was going to become a teacher. And I went to an information session for this organization called Teach For America, not knowing really anything about it, and I found my place. An organization that would not only develop me as a teacher, but would help me get my certification and held some of the same values I did around education. One application, 2 interviews, and a sample lesson later, I was admitted to the 2003 Philadelphia Corps, and that is where my journey began. Almost 20 years later, I am still in education, having been a classroom teacher, a school administrator, and now a nonprofit leader. The journey has taken me to work in and learn from students and community members in Philadelphia, in Camden, New Haven, and Bridgeport, Connecticut, and now here in Delaware. Our state has always been near and dear to me. Although I was not born or raised here, my mother, a first-generation college graduate, a proud HBCU graduate, was born and raised in Laurel. A lady bulldog, she was part of the first group of Black students that integrated Laurel High School. It gives me immense pride to lead educational equity work in our state, where my mother so long ago with others took the brave first steps to do so. The actual work of educational equity for Delaware students was happening long before the idea of bringing Teach For America to Delaware was put into action. But thankfully, a group of leaders here had the idea and saw the vision of what could be if a region was launched. You will now hear from Paul Herdman, the president and CEO of Rodell, who played a key role in the launch of how it all began.
Hi, my name's Paul Herdman, and I run Rodell, a nonprofit here in Wilmington, Delaware. Congratulations on your 10th anniversary, and I wanted to take a moment to speak about where we are and to talk about where we've been. In terms of where we are, we're obviously 2 years into a pandemic with no real clear end in sight. And we know from McKinsey data and others that kids of color in particular are upwards of 6 months behind. We also know that teachers are the biggest drivers of student performance. So when we think about the opportunity and the mission of TFA, the idea of getting a great teacher in every classroom, not only in Delaware, but in this country, is an incredibly powerful opportunity to change not only this state, but this country. And so when I think about how we got here, when I was early in my tenure, in about 2006, I explored getting Teach for America here. I went to Wendy Kopp's office and explored the idea and was told that we were, in essence, too small a site, that we wouldn't be able to have enough core members. 2009 comes along, the recession, and TFA National rethinks its strategy a little bit and says, hey, if you're still interested, you could start under the TFA Philly umbrella, and you could get started, but you have to do three things in order to do that. One, you need to get legislation passed to enable Teach for America. Two, you need to raise $1 million. And three, you need to get 20 core members placed. Needless to say, since we are here 10 years later, those three things did in fact happen. It didn't happen through our work alone. TFA National, with the help of EV04, was amazing. We had John Carwell on our team, who was really supportive. We had Mike Wang up in Philly at TFA. On the political front, there were senators like Margaret Rose Henry and David Sokola. Our U.S. delegation was incredibly important, Carper and Castle in particular. On the fundraising front, Longwood, Delaware Business Roundtable Education Committee, and Rodell rounded out that $1 million. And on the ground, there were districts and charter schools that took a risk on getting started here. In particular, I would call out Bob A. and Red Clay District at the time, and Sally Maldonado, who is still at Kumba Academy. Now, the road to getting off the ground was not straight. Our initial executive director did not work out, but fortunately, we were able to secure Larissa Shutt for this role, and she really established this site. She created TFA Delaware, breaking off from TFA Philly. She recognized that retention was an important issue for districts and charters, and went to TFA National to say, I want to make sure that the core members that come to Delaware are going to commit to 3 versus 2 years. And she also went to districts locally here and said, I want to make sure our core members have the support network that they need to be successful. And so clustered those placements. She also built a leadership pipeline, and perhaps most importantly, she built out a succession plan. And Tamara has been a great successor. I am privileged to serve on the Urban League board with her, and she's become a leader in the social justice movement in Delaware. I'm excited to see what the next decades hold, and congratulations again. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Paul. I am grateful for all who participated and worked diligently to get us launched, but especially to Larissa, who, as Paul stated, created a strong foundation that I am proud to continue to build upon. It has also been with the support of local and federal leaders that we have been able to grow as a region. Senator Coons and Carper and Congresswoman Blunt Rochester have all championed Teach for America locally and nationally, and we are grateful for their support.
Good evening, Teach for America-Delaware. This is Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester, and I am thrilled to join you as you celebrate 10 years of serving Delaware's children. For a decade, you've been advocates for youth, builders of the education profession, and partners with the broader community focused on true and lasting educational equity in the first state. From the over 300 teachers you've trained to an alumni base that grew from barely a dozen to over 100, your vision is shared by parents and education advocates across the state, that every one of our 130,000 students has access to a quality education and a real future. And now you're able to count 8 Delaware Teachers of the Year in your ranks. As the former Delaware Secretary of Labor and founder and co-chair of the Bipartisan Congressional Future Work Caucus, I know just how important it is to educate our children to build a strong and capable workforce, thriving families and communities, and a world-class economy. Your work helps make the vision a reality. So, Teach for America-Delaware, congratulations on a decade of impact.
As part of our work, Teach for America is one of over 2,000 organizations that are members of AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps is a national network of local, state, and national service program that connects over 70,000 Americans each year in service to meet community needs in education, the environment, public safety, and homeland security. Those members receive an education award after the completion of their service. Most of our Teach for America-Delaware Corps members utilize that award to cover their graduate school costs through our program. Senator Coons has long been a champion for AmeriCorps and has worked tirelessly to not only maintain the AmeriCorps funding, but have it increased to better serve our members. Earlier this year, he was inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame. I had the pleasure of attending that event and was able to ask him about our teacher pipeline work, both nationally and locally.
Hi, Senator Coons. This is Tamara Smith from Teach for America-Delaware. I want to first say congratulations on being inducted into the National Service Hall of Fame. And also thank you for sponsoring the CORE Act and just for consistently elevating service as a priority for our nation. My question for you is, how do you think national service can help build our teacher pipeline, specifically here in Delaware?
I think Tamara Smith just asked me a question about building out the teacher pipeline in Delaware. She's the executive director of Teach for America Delaware, a fantastic program that I've visited with many times. One of the exciting things about AmeriCorps is how it often launches a lifetime of service. As we heard in the very first video by Bradley, he's gone on to continue working with our state parks and continuing working in the area that he was first exposed to through his AmeriCorps service. I have 5 AmeriCorps member veterans on my staff. Corey, who helped lead our successful work on the CORE Act and in securing funding through the American Rescue Plan, was himself a part of Teach for America. I have other folks who work with me in Delaware and here in Washington who had previous service in AmeriCorps programs of a wide range of different kinds. So one of the great things about AmeriCorps is that it doesn't just give people hands-on opportunities to serve and strengthen their skills. It often launches them into a lifelong career. I've got 3 kids of my own who are 21, 21, and 20 as of right now. And I think AmeriCorps is a great way for young people to explore. Often folks in their teens and 20s aren't quite sure yet what it is they want to do with their lives. And AmeriCorps provides a tremendous, structured and supported opportunity to explore service, to develop skills, and often to discern a future career path. Teach for America and City Year, Public Allies are programs I'm very familiar with, all of which have ended up leading to careers in service for tens of thousands of Americans. There's other programs like Youth Build that produce specific skills in the construction industry in that case. One of my priorities that's going to be carried forward in the CORE Act and in the implementation of the additional funding that we've secured this year is to further diversify the core of those engaged in national service by making the education award stronger, the living stipend stronger, and by doing greater outreach to make sure that those who are serving represent the communities in which they serve.
Yesterday, I had the pleasure of sitting down with Ivan and Vincenza on Good Morning Wilmington on DETV. It was great to be able to share about Teach for America Delaware and our local impact. At the end of the segment, in true Delaware community form, Ivan pledged $250 towards our 10th anniversary fundraiser and charged other community leaders to match that donation. Ivan, thank you again for such a kind gift. And I'm taking this opportunity, in case you missed the segment, to relay his charge to you. We are celebrating tonight, but we are also asking for gifts to support our local recruitment efforts, as well as program expansion. The hyperlink to donate is below in the information box. And if you're listening and aren't able to donate right now, you can go to teachforamerica.org/donate to make your gift. While you pause to do that, I'd love to share with you the voices of our most important people, our students. Kumba Academy was one of our original school partners, and we continue to partner with them today. Located in the community education building where we also are, Kumba works in strong partnership with parents in the local Wilmington community to ensure a student's learning experience is maximized. As part of their celebration of Kwanzaa, a class of second grade students will be performing Imani. Imani is the 7th principle of Kwanzaa and means faith. It is also a profound belief in family and community. Our work is firmly rooted in understanding the importance of community, and our students understand that as well. Thank you to Mrs. Mark's second grade class, and thanks to Kumba for sharing the performance and for being a partner with us in this work. Kumba is one of 8 current school and district partners we work alongside, including Eastside Charter School, Thomas Edison Charter School, and the Christina School District. With over 150 members in our network, that includes current core members and our alumni, our impact is truly statewide. From Sussex Tech to Newark High School to Friary, our members are working diligently to ensure every student in their classroom every year is receiving the best education experience possible. It is hard work, but also incredibly rewarding. You are about to hear directly from them, our core members and alumni, who serve every day in the fight for educational equity across all of our sectors.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Conway. I am a 2021 core member of Teach for America, and I currently teach second grade all subjects. I wanted to join the Teach for America community because I wanted to be part of a network of leaders and educators who are committed to the success of all students, emphasis on the all. I've always wanted to have a career in education, but I also strongly wanted to be part of the movement working towards educational equity. I knew that Teach for America would equip me with the proper skills and knowledge to lead a classroom that is inclusive, culturally relevant, trauma-informed, data-driven, and most importantly, equitable. One thing that I have learned from my students so far this year is that nothing works for everyone. For example, during journal writing time, one of my students, Demi, conveys her ideas best with visuals and artwork, whereas another student, Chastity, needs to talk through what she wants to write before she could ever even pick up a pencil. Another example is that during read aloud times, one of my students, John Julian, needs to be doing something with his hands. He needs to be coloring or drawing or writing while he listens in order to comprehend. Whereas another student, Emmanuel, he listens best if his head is just down. He's not doing anything else, he'll get too distracted. So I think most importantly, what I've learned from that is always taking the whole person into account, no matter what the situation is, whether they're your students or whomever. It's something that I'll always be mindful of in various aspects of my life.
Hi, I'm Ryan Harrington, and I'm Teach for America-Delaware 2012.
And I'm Felicia Harrington, Teach for America-Delaware 2011.
And this is Clara, who could be Teach for America-Delaware 2043, if she wants to be. I joined Teach for America because I wanted to make sure that all students had the same opportunities that I did growing up. I felt very fortunate to have had the educational opportunities, the extracurricular opportunities, the life opportunities that I did. And I wanted to make sure that other students had that same chance, regardless of where they were from. So I was very proud to come to a new place, to come to Delaware, and live out that vision. And I'm really proud to call Delaware home now.
And ultimately, our core experience has really laid the foundation for our professional careers for the better part of the last decade. From founding Free Airy to really introducing us to the various people who would continue along those paths. And beyond personally, I mean, we met each other, we put roots down and really have called Delaware home now, and it's hard to imagine what life would be without Teach for America.
Today, we're living out Teach for America's mission professionally, personally, through all parts of our lives. I lead an organization called the Delaware Data Innovation Lab, which is part of Tech Impact. At the root of what our organization is, it's the intersection of social impact and data. We want to solve today's inequities by taking a stance in data to try to fix those challenges. Food insecurity, housing insecurity, all of the things that affect the students that we work with while we're in the core. That's what we're trying to solve with data. If it wasn't for Teach for America, that's not something that I would be so passionate about and so excited to work on every single day.
And I lead a program at the University of Delaware as a dual enrollment program for high school students, introducing them to entrepreneurship education. And really, we work to help students realize the experiences, the mindsets, the skills they need to create a world that they want to live in and shape what the future looks like.
Thank you so much. Happy 10th anniversary, TFA Delaware.
Hi, my name is Alana Berry, and I was a 2011 Jacksonville Corps member and am now a Delaware alum. I chose to join Teach for America because when I was an undergraduate, I had the opportunity to run a GED program in a maximum security prison. And through that experience, I really saw the connection between challenges in our education system that lead directly to some of the challenges in our criminal justice system. And so that experience led me to Teach for America because I wanted to have an impact in the classroom before children end up in our criminal justice system. Today, I am the policy advisor for education, health and social services equity, and the children's department, as well as the statewide trauma-informed care coordinator for the governor's office in Delaware. And I am living out my Teach for America mission every day, directly connecting policy to program and practice and utilizing my classroom experience and the stories of my children to help impact policy in the state of Delaware.
My name is Kevin Lehrer, and I'm a proud alum of the 2015 Teach For America-Delaware Corps. I joined Teach For America because I wanted to be that transformative teacher that I had so many of when I was growing up. I really want to be that teacher that can support a student both academically and personally and help them achieve what they didn't believe was achievable within themselves. I am living TFA's mission each and every day of my life. I was fortunate to be placed at Free Area Charter School Wilmington in my first year as a TFA Corps member. 7 years later, I'm fortunate to be able to come in every single day in the place that I love and support the students that I care so much about. It's been a blessing over the past 7 years to be able to support students as both an AP teacher as well as a college counselor, where I'm able to provide our students with increased access and opportunity to achieve whatever their goal is after they graduate from Free Area.
Hello, my name is Chantal Ashford, and I'm a 2014 TFA Delaware alum. So I joined TFA because I wanted to give back to the community, specifically the communities where I'm from. I'm a Delaware native, born in Dover, went to Dover High, whoop, whoop, go Senators. And I really wanted to be in schools, be in the classroom. And so I majored in psychology, but then I heard about Teach For America and realized that I could be in the classroom through this program and really figure out what schools were like. And I haven't left the classroom ever since. I love working with students. I love giving back to my community in this way. And I love helping to build the future leaders of tomorrow. So I still teach in the classroom. I'm a full-time high school English teacher, working at a Title I school, working with all sorts of different students and helping them find their brilliance in the English classroom as writers. And then I'm also starting a school. I'm the co-board chair of the Brian Allen Stevenson School of Excellence here in Sussex County. And we are working to open a charter to create a different learning model for students that's focused on service learning. And that's focused on helping them become the leaders and get proximate, named after Brian Stevenson, who is a Delaware native as well, who's a civil rights attorney and lawyer. And so just really trying to create that legacy for students to create the legacy for themselves.
I'm John Sheehan, and I was a 2011 Corps member in New York City. I joined Teach For America because I wanted to be a teacher, and I had the privilege of teaching 5th grade. My remarkable students and the incredible educators that I taught alongside are who motivate me each and every day to make sure that our systems and our policies truly lift up students and educators, but particularly those students who need us most. Today I have the privilege of working for Governor Carney and having the opportunity to work on behalf of students and educators across our great state. It's a tremendous honor, and I'm so lucky to have the opportunity to support students like those that I taught.
My name is Sarah Eschem, and I'm a 2014 Delaware Corps member. It's hard to believe that it's almost been 8 years. My decision to join Teach For America was inspired by a volunteer opportunity that I had during my junior year of college at Auburn University, where I volunteered at the Lee County Youth Development and Detention Center. At the time, I was completing an elective class on community and civic engagement, which included volunteering at a community organization of my choice. Although I always have loved working with kids, my original plan in college was actually head to law school. But during the beginning of my senior year, I realized that maybe I wasn't quite ready and I needed a break from schooling after all, and a friend mentioned Teach For America. After doing some research, it seemed like a great way to combine my love for working with kids with the passion I'd found at the Lee County Youth Development and Detention Center, where I was working specifically with high needs and high risk students. When I first moved to Delaware, I had a very set plan that I was going to complete my 2 years and then either head off to law school or just get out of the state, because I wasn't super thrilled on Delaware. But as soon as I got into the classroom, I very quickly realized that I had found my calling. And I'm so thankful that life took me on this unexpected turn, because it eventually led me to my husband. And I don't ever think I will leave Delaware now, and I've completely fallen in love. Although I'm no longer at my placement school, I do still work in the same area, just about 20 minutes away, with a very similar demographic of students. And each day I work on creating and providing a safe environment for all of my students where they can feel comfortable coming to me, talking to me about anything, and that I can help them grow as individuals. I've also worked to get involved in many different aspects at my school, from coaching multiple sports with field hockey and lacrosse to sitting on different committees for the school to help with improvements, whether it be equity or technology or access for students. Long term, I still would love to work in educational policy, so sort of going back to that law mindset that I had when I was younger, to work specifically on equity within school buildings. And I think this is really, really important in Delaware, where I think school of choice has actually created a lot of inequity. So I'd like to find a way to kind of to bridge that and to help students, specifically in rural areas like where I teach. 10 years ago, if somebody would have asked me where I would be at this moment, a high school teacher in rural Delaware would have been the last thing on my mind. I would have never thought of that. But I'm so thankful for everything that Teach for America has taught me, the opportunities it has provided me, and the friendships that I've built along the way. And I cannot wait to see the way that this region grows over the next 10 years.
Hi, my name is Christine Eisenhower, and I am a 2005 Charlotte, North Carolina Teach for America alumna. I joined Teach for America due to my love of mathematics. I became an 8th grade math and science teacher at Bishop's Fall Community Academy, and I was so excited to be able to support students in building their own love of math and really utilizing that to make sense of the world around them. Being a corps member has really changed the trajectory of my life. It was in the corps that I met some of my very closest friends. It is in the corps that I became more acutely aware of the injustices that students, and particularly students of color, face day in and day out. And it was in the corps that I developed not only my love of mathematics, but my love of teaching, which has really led me to where I am today. So now I lead our programming in Delaware as a part of Relay Graduate School of Education. I founded our campus here in my home state in 2015, and since founding our campus here, not only do we educate and train and support corps members who are Delaware corps members, but we've graduated over 150 educators that impact kids from across the state of Delaware, all the way from Del Mar to Claymont.
Hi, my name is Darren Rainey, Sr., and I'm a 2017 TFA Delaware alum. My corps member experience has impacted my life by putting me in a position to lead in my community. Not only have I had the profound honor of helping to develop the leaders of tomorrow, but I've been lucky enough to be able to have learned from them as well. You know, I live out TFA's mission today by working to ensure that the kids in Delaware receive the education that they deserve and one that's worth their time. In my current role as the Director of Curriculum Instruction at Free Area Charter School, it's not only my responsibility to ensure that students are supported and held to high expectations, but also that their teachers are developed, supported, and ready to lead in their classrooms. So with that being said, happy anniversary to Teach for America, Delaware, and keep doing the work that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you so much to my Delaware family. Even though I know each of them so well, I am always inspired by their words, their work, and their commitment to Delaware students and their success. From Liz sharing how important it is to take the whole person into account, to Darren just sharing how he ensures all teachers are supported, to Chantal and Alana launching a new school in Sussex County to continue their dream of high quality education for all, to Kevin's work as a college counselor supporting students as they chart their journey past high school. Each of their life paths and goals may be slightly different, but they are united by their Teach for America experience and their belief in educational equity for all. Our decade in Delaware has yielded strong results for Delaware, with our core members averaging over a year or more growth with their students. Our belief in the power of a diverse teaching workforce is evident in action, not just words, with our core maintaining 50% or more every year of teachers of color. Our commitment to the holistic development of students, while always important, is imperative now more than ever over the last 2 years. Even through the crisis of a health pandemic that we are still in and do not fully know the ramifications of the effect on our children yet, Teach for America core members continue through challenging circumstances that all teachers were facing and were there for their students. Last year, through a survey given to the students of the core members in our program, 70% of students said they felt confident about their academic growth, even in a health pandemic. 82% stated they felt cared about and supported by their teachers. And over 85% stated they felt they could be themselves in their classroom. As a region, we have made investments in our SEL training and culturally responsive practices. Academic growth matters, but so does the social and emotional development of our students. If there is one thing you can take away from tonight, I hope it is that teachers are the lever for change for students. If you want to invest in the students of Delaware, invest in our teachers. Without them, we do not make progress for students. We have to work differently, and we at Teach for America are doing that. 10 years has led us to this moment. The journey and the road ahead is inspiring, difficult, but also necessary to ensure our students, who are our future, thrive. I am asking you to invest right now into our program. Our core members are leading in classrooms right now. Some of them are listening right now while they are getting ready for tomorrow's lesson. Our alumni are leading in classrooms right now. They are fighting for educational equity in the nonprofit, private, and public sector. Your investment in our teachers will help ensure that our mission is not just a feel-good statement. It will help us to work towards ensuring that all Delaware students have an excellent education. I want to end by thanking a few people. Our regional board, our supporters and investors who have been with us from the beginning, our members, our core members and alumni, and each of you for taking the time to tune in tonight. Have a wonderful holiday and good night.